Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here, bringing you episode 44 of my Agrarian Skies Hardcore Quest Let's Play. This game pack by Jadedcat is available on the Feed the Beast launcher. As you can see, I'm currently using the Sortex texture pack. This is being decided by viewer poll. I will have a link for the straw poll in the description. At the moment, Sortex has a small lead. Faithful was in the lead for the longest time, but that changed in the last few hours. Sortex looks pretty good. Luckily, Wayla lets us know exactly, what we're looking at, so I hope there won't be too much confusion. Last time, I prettied up the island, put some border stone around my farms, got a lawn planted, replaced all of the green hard-stained clay. I think the place looks pretty good now. Today, it's all about the questing, but you might notice something a little odd. I mean, my bag is almost organized, and my armor has new sigils and different things in it. Unfortunately, in between episodes, I starved to death. I left the game running, walked away with it on the pause menu, and yeah, that didn't work out very well. So I have now starved to death once. It's a shame. So, what does this mean? It means that I had to go and make a whole bunch of new armor. I had to make new everything. New bound armor, new items, lost my wand. Luckily, I didn't have anything too exciting on me. I'm going to have to make myself a newer, better wand before I get back into some serious Thaumcraft. But that'll wait for another time. Right now, I want to get some quests completed, because I've been working up towards them for quite a long time. First and foremost, you'll notice that most of the cobblestone creation machine has been torn down, and only the final cyclic assembler remains, because it has all 9 septuple compressed cobblestone. By the way, I really enjoy the extra utilities compressed cobblestone recipes in this particular texture pack. It basically just literally adds more and more dividing lines every time. So let's finish Cobblegen Madness. 1 octuple compressed cobblestone. This single block is worth 43 million cobblestone. Can I please try not to dig up the floor? That'd be great. And now that I have finally gathered that 1 single block that the quest requested, I can hand it in. Fantastic. We'll take the right-hand reward bag. The pick had Efficiency 5 and Fortune 5 on it. Fortune 5 is pretty fantastic. That's impossible to get natively, and will give you really high return rates on fortunable blocks. Something like 300 or 400%. Nighttime already. 2 hearts, which will replace the one that I accidentally lost and get me up to a total of 75. And a greater reward bag, which contained a potion flask with regen. Big deal. And a legendary reward bag. Let's hope for a new wand. 16 conveyor belts. I am sad on the inside. That was a terrible reward. All of that to get 7 minutes of regen and 16 conveyor... Oh, well. I guess Fortune 5. Fortune 5 is my reward, and I better be happy with it. Goodbye, useless flask. So, I tore down a lot of the squeezers. I ran through my entire stock of seeds, and I am still only back up to 600 seeds and, well, 2,000 melon. But, more importantly, I had enough seed oil that I no longer needed them running. Buckets are an issue. I'm very happy that I did not lose my ender quarry. That would have been terrible. So, but I have plans for that I'm going to be using, if not today, then the next big questing episode. Oh, that's right. You can't put seed oil in a bucket. You have to put it in a can. There we are. So there is a quest in, where is it? Go with the flow for seed oil. You need 160,000 millibuckets. So 160 buckets. Out of the entire stock of seeds that I had, I received 275 buckets. That'll probably be more than I really ever need. So I'm going to select task on that, and I'm going to go upstairs to where I have my quest submission areas all set up. Just need to whack you. So, well, no, not quite yet. I set the fluid export bus to do seed oil, but not quite yet. Nope, I don't want to do that. What I want to do, actually, order doesn't matter as long as I do the quest delivery system last. So, as I've covered before, the comparator will, when its back is up against the quest delivery system, output a redstone signal when the quest has a quest assigned. This fluid export bus is set to only export when it has a redstone signal. So if I tell it to export seed oil, and then I give this quest delivery system the seed oil task, it'll start filling up that tank. And then I can start dumping that tank in, and the seed oil will begin filling fairly slowly. If I want to be efficient, I can let it continue going very slowly. I'm not that worried about efficiency. I have a ton of seed oil already. This shouldn't waste too much, and it will complete relatively rapidly. Fantastic. While that's working on that, over here, I want to complete a For the Hoarding quest. Now, my options are dirt collection, but I don't have enough to make quadruple compressed dirt in those quantities yet. Slime blocks, but I'm not going to get into that quite at the moment. End stone, that's one that I can really work on. So I need 1,000 end stone. The easiest way, I believe, for me to do that is going to be putting lava and glowstone into a stone barrel. End stone. So my options are to use sandstone and an ender pearl's worth of resident ender and a fluid transposer. That would be fairly simple. I have a couple of thousand ender pearl. Actually, I do have a couple of thousand ender pearls, and I'm not using it for much else. You know what? I like that option more because it'll actually go a little bit faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one sandstone, which I should have some. No, I do not. But I can teach my system how to turn sand into sandstone fairly easily. So now it knows how to make sandstone. Well, now it does. On the first page here, I have some cleaning up of the extra cobble, as I have an extra 13,000 double compressed cobblestone. I was trying to do this all by hand and eventually ended up setting up the cyclic assemblers upstairs. This guy's getting the double compressed fed into him and uncompressing it. This guy's getting the single compressed fed in and uncompressing it. And it's all getting fed downstairs into this, which one? This one? One of these. That one. No, that's dust. This one. There we go. Almost 1 million cobblestone in this deep storage unit. You'll also notice I have a whole line of deep storage units set up that I'm trying to reduce some of my disk drive usage. I'm putting my oak logs and my arrows, my gunpowder. In fact, most of these are probably done filling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable the item input temporarily. And I'm going to remove all of these precision export buses. See, I had the precision export bus on each one of these. For example, on this one, I had a precision export bus outputting string into it. And I did not have it hooked up to the storage bus behind it so that it would not export from itself. But now I just have it all hooked up to the system, and I can turn this back on. And all of my string and etc. should be flowing into these because I have these storage buses set to very high priority. And my disk drive is set as low as it can be. Well, it's set at 1. I haven't gone into the negatives because that seems pointless. I'll just set everything else positive. Where was I? Endstone. Yes. I have sandstone. I'm going to need one more, actually. Now, I toss one into this fluid transposer full of resident ender. And I look up endstone. And this is going to keep my fluid transposer full of resident ender pretty busy for quite a while. But I don't think I'll need any more tesseracts for a little bit. So I teach this to make endstone out of sandstone. Deposit both into here. Come back upstairs. Oops, actually I needed that endstone, didn't I? This comparator is set to provide redstone signal to both the item duct and the precision export bus. The precision export bus is going to be in single item or craft mode, and it is going to output endstone. It will only run while it has a redstone signal. This will only pull out while it has a redstone signal. So I'm now going to tell my block to work on not the end. And in the time it took me to set all of that up, my Go With The Flow quest completed. Claiming my seed oil rewards, I get 2 attuned drones, 2 attuned princesses, and a full heart, plus an epic reward bag, 76 lives. Oh, you know what? I've changed my mind. I do not like the map there. Mini-map position, top right. We'll go with top right. No, top right doesn't work out well either. Neither does top left. Nothing works. Oh well. No matter where I put it, it's covering something. Epic reward bag containing a whole bunch of fishing stuff. Bee bait, fishing rods. Wah wah. Life goes on. You'll note that I've solved some of my lingering FPS issues, mainly by turning off VSync. XSplit still seems to be a fairly poor choice of recording software. I'm going to be experimenting with both OBS and DxTory moving forward. I tried out NVIDIA's Shadowplay. It did fantastic in terms of performance, but the audio quality from the microphone was not acceptable. It made me sound tinny, and it basically made me sound like I was speaking through TeamSpeak or Ventrilo. And you guys deserve better audio quality than that. I deserve to get better vocal quality out of this, considering the amount that I've invested in this microphone and this stand. Next on the agenda, are there any more liquid quests that I can complete? Fueling the void, ethanol, that wouldn't be too tough. So let's set up a system to produce a bunch of ethanol. Ethanol is best produced, well, is only produced from Mine Factory Reloaded, and I believe it is the Bioreactor that creates it. Let me find it. Bioreactor. That looks about right. So, I'm going to go over to my system. Bioreactor. Uses slime balls, bricks, sugar, plastic sheets, fermented spider eye, machine frame. I'm missing a lot of that. No problem. Just going to tell it to keep a stock of a bunch of these things on hand. That should have been everything. There we go. Bioreactor. Booyah. So the way the bioreactor works, it is not a super complicated block. Basically, just put it down, add your plant materials. Now, the list of plant materials that it works with is a little bit arcane. It works with saplings, which will be one of the best things, because I have a ton of saplings. Less so on the oak, but mostly rubber saplings. So I'm going to set up a precision export bus feeding into this guy. And I'm going to give it rubber saplings as one option. And I'm going to put a lever on this to stop it from working, because I don't want it to actually just eat up every single possible sapling that goes into it. That doesn't work at maximum efficiency. You want to get as many types of items down here as possible to get it working at maximum efficiency. Slow that thing down. And I need up to 9 types. Other items that work in the bioreactor are, I believe carrots and potatoes both work. You can get a good idea of if something will work or not by just trying to shift-click it in there. If it ends up on the bottom and the efficiency goes up, then you're in business. So, keep carrots, keep potatoes. The bioreactor will also accept seeds. So, for example, melon seeds, because why not? I believe pumpkin seeds, but I don't have a pumpkin farm set up. I might set one up if I need more stuff. It will also accept wheat seeds. I'm going to tell this guy to move single items and craft, sending in seeds and pumpkin seeds. And I'm actually going to put a stack of both in there to start. I don't want the thing to get flooded, and that could easily happen. As long as I have a little bit of everything, it should just keep refilling. I'm going to need to actually stack up that little bit of everything. It would be nice if it could do apples, but it cannot. It can do any type of sapling, but as I said, I'm only doing rubber at the moment. It can also manage nether wart. I've got plenty of nether wart, so that's an option. Let's see. Actually, I'm just going to need the whole stack. And it can do any vanilla dye. And the easiest ones for me to do with that are going to be bone meal and ink sacs, because I have plenty of both. And I can teach my system how to make more bone meal as needed. So 1, 2, 3 more. That gives me 8 types. And that will likely be enough. I would like to get that 9th type in there, though. You know what? It's time to start growing more of another tree type so that I can keep my saplings up to date. Let's see. What do I want to grow? I could go back to making more oak. I've already got a whole bunch of stuff set up to take care of all of the extra oak. So yeah, oak saplings it is. I'm done shearing leaves. I have a new plan for taking care of my dirt issue. So I'm going to turn the shear leaves on this off. I'm going to dig right down. Set my export bus back to oak saplings. And I'm going to empty out the rubber saplings that are already there. Don't worry if you ever see a sacred rubber sapling pop up. It is a lie. They are not actually sacred rubber saplings. They are just a display bug. And I believe they're fixed in the next version of whichever mod is causing the cross mod issue. All right, now all I need to do, if I really want to speed this along, I'm going to, oh, hey, that's an interesting point. I can't have more than 8 items coming off of one precision export bus. That's okay. I can set up another one easily enough. And I can set this guy to oak saplings. And I can give it a stack of oak saplings. And I'm going to wait until I have a whole bunch of everything filling into the bioreactor before I actually start it processing. I have a random bit of dirt. Oh yeah, from my farm. I knew that. Just get these all cleared out. I really like the sapling texture from this pack. Well, I really like the textures in this pack. It looks nice. It's a little on the flat side, but that's kind of one of the selling points of the Sortex pack. It claims to be smooth and clean, and it is. It would be nice if there was a little bit more texture depth and variation, but the problem with that is then you get to a situation where you're not looking at things straight on, like I'm off over here looking at a strange angle, and the textures still look mostly fine. You don't see a ton of dithering. That's solvable with the right shader pack, but you need a pretty serious computer setup to be able to handle that particular idea. It takes non-trivial amounts of processing power to run the kind of shaders you need to do anti-aliasing and anisotropic filtering in Minecraft. Java is just not designed to work well with those, and Minecraft is single-threaded, which that's a shame because one of the big, strong selling points of Java is how easy and well it does multi-threading. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm going to get everything started now. It's going to put in the rubber saplings first, and it's going to I wonder if it'll keep trying to put those in. I better manually set this up just in case. So potatoes, carrots, netherwort, bone meal, ink sacs. Yep, it sure is. Netherwort, bone meal, ink sac, potato, carrot, melon seeds, and seeds. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different types. I'm going to turn that bioreactor on now by removing the lever. And you can see that it is building up a very large buffer, and it's keeping all of the items full without much trouble. The way this works, every item will generate a certain amount of biofuel based on the efficiency rating of the bioreactor. The efficiency rating is increased by having multiple different types of items in the reactor. Now, this rating, I don't believe, directly translates into how much biofuel is produced per item. However, the numbers that I have tell me that with only one type of item in the biofuel, it will produce, in the bioreactor, it will produce 5 millibuckets of biofuel per item, but with all 9 different types, it'll produce a little over 158 millibuckets of biofuel per item, which means all 9 of them will produce over a bucket apiece. So with a full stack plus another full stack of 9 different items, I have somewhere along the lines of 1,000 buckets worth of biofuel in here. That's a lot more than I likely need. I'm pretty sure that I only need, well, actually, I don't remember how much I need at all. Let's find out. So, in Go With The Flow, fueling the void requires, looks like 1,600 buckets of biofuel. This bioreactor on its own won't produce that, but over time, yeah, no problem. So I'm just going to give it a fluid import bus. And once I have that import bus in place, I'll be pretty much done with this build and just need to wait. I need to give it a cable. And it's pulling the biofuel out as fast as it can be made. I could set up more bioreactors, or I can just be patient. I can do patience. If I take a look at biofuel, I already have 4 buckets worth and counting. So I'm going to grab a bucket of that, and I'm going to take it upstairs. Set up my machine to, oh, hey, look at that. For the hoarding. Not the end. Stopped. I don't know why that quest went away. Not the end. Select task. Give it to you. Very strange. Very strange indeed. In any case, get that running again. Go with the flow. Fueling the void. Select task. Tell my fluid export bus that this guy wants biofuel, not seed oil cans. And set the task. There we go. Now I can basically ignore it. come back sometime when I think that it might be done. Give it a look. Gonna get rid of this rain and the darkness. Next on the agenda, I have most of what I need to complete Not So Fast Food and Cloudy with Meatballs. I need to get more pigs and cows breeding. I also need to get significantly more tomatoes and lettuce than I have. So I'm going to set up a system to provide me with more of all of that. Well, that's not quite accurate. Rather, I'm going to improve the existing systems that I already have so that I can get all of that faster. First step, I've made myself a block smasher from Minefactory Reloaded. This block is made with plastic sheets and precision sledgehammers and has already been taught to the mass assembly chamber. To set up the block smasher, I need to place it in the world with mob essence and power. Here we go. Fluid export bus, block smasher. Give it a little power. Need to extract out the back, and this needs to be a powered extraction. It would not output automatically. So set this to redstone control ignored. And into the side, I will be piping apatite ore. What the block smasher does is it simulates fortune. Random stray bit of obsidian in the system. And every time that work bar fills, it uses a little bit of mob essence, which I need to be putting in there faster than I am. Which I need to be putting in there still faster than that, don't I? Something's wrong here. Oh, you know what? I didn't actually give it the bucket. Yeah, that changes everything. So, it will basically break apart this apatite ore as if it was using a Fortune 3 pickaxe to do so. Which is basically the most efficient possible route. You could use this for your redstone, lapis, diamond, all of those. However, if I look at redstone, I have 20,000. If I look at diamonds, I have almost 3,000. Emeralds, I'm at almost 2,000. Lapis, I have 25,000. It's not needed. So, apatite ore getting processed into apatite. With that apatite, I'm going to be making fertilizer from forestry. And I'm using forestry fertilizer because it's easy. 1 apatite, 2 sand gets me 8 fertilizer. You can increase your output efficiency by using ash, which you can make with forestry peat from a peat bog. You can also use concentrated compound, which is created through alchemy. However, I don't think that that's necessary. So I'm going to be putting this fertilizer into fertilizers from Minefactory Reloaded. And I'm going to do that through a tesseract. I'm going to set this tesseract up on the fertilizer frequency, which I've set to 72. Because why not? I'm going to put a precision export bus on the tesseract at my base. And I can configure this to send energy only, block fluids, and send items. And I will give it fertilizer. And I'll tell it to move a stack at a time. Or actually, no. I will tell it to move single items or craft. Because I've taught my ME system how to craft fertilizer out of sand and apatite. Now, if I come over here to my farms, I want to fertilize my potatoes to grow faster. So I'm going to set a fertilizer down. That output face pointing at whatever I want. I'm going to put the tesseract down on top of it. And I'm going to set the tesseract to receive items and energy on 72. If I take a look, it is gaining fertilizer, and it is using it almost as fast as it is gaining it to fertilize the nearby tomato. However, I don't want that tomato fertilized on its own. I actually want to put a melon seed there. There we go. What I want is to give this a tin upgrade so that it will cover the entire farm. And I'm going to do the same over here with lettuce. Put the I don't have my flight on. Grab my Omni Wrench to turn it around. Put the Tesseract on top. It is going to block fluids and receive only items and energy. Set it to fertilizer. And now this is also getting fertilizer from forestry. And as you can see, it is making lettuce go quite an awful lot faster. It doesn't seem to work quite as well on tomatoes, and I haven't figured out the reason for that yet. In any case, if I take a look at my system and I look up lettuce, where before it was taking its time, now it's ticking up at a visible rate. Or it was. I think it stalled out because this ran out of fertilizer of all things. In any case, the fertilizer with the planter and the harvester all working together will get me the lettuce and the tomatoes that I need at a much more rapid pace. Which is good, because I need 50,000 lettuce plus extra for other things. So that takes care of that for the moment. And I can probably start feeding tomatoes to the system. Let's see how the Endstone quest is doing. It's at 10%. 16%, according to this. And biofuel, it's taking quite a bit longer with just the one reactor. So that'll be something that will take its time. No problem. That's going to be about all the time that we have for today. However, I did have a viewer request, which I wanted to fulfill. If I take a look at my quest book, you'll note that I have unlocked the End, because I've unlocked the Apprentice Arch-Mage quest in the End. This is the ultimate magic quest. This is the final goal of your magical journey. To complete it, you need to submit a Master Blood Orb. I have one of those. In fact, I have like 12. There's a spare one just sitting around not doing anything. Submit that. I get my Master Blood Orb back, a green heart canister, and a reward bag. In the reward bag, which is legendary, I receive a green heart canister. That's disappointing, if only because they're fairly easy to craft. I have not been happy with the legendary reward bags that I've gotten so far. They are failing to live up to their name. Now, if I check back into my quest book, I will see that I have completed 14% of the End. And all of these other quests are still locked and will require me to finish things elsewhere. You can get some small idea of what comes from what. But all of that will have to be covered another day when I finish collecting everything that I need for the various quests. Yeah, we're getting places now. Fantastic. How is that Endstone doing? 177. Awesome. So in the next couple episodes, the Endstone and the biofuel should finish themselves. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going over more bees. We've finished beginner beekeeping, and we're ready to move on to apprentice apiculture. I hope to cover the next few quests in the Bees and Trees quest line, which are going to involve me getting into alvearies and genetic manipulation and just the advanced bee blocks available. And once I have those available to me, I can start breeding some really nifty bees that'll be able to do a lot of cool things for me. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you are enjoying the series thus far. If you are, please like, comment, subscribe, and help me get my name out there on social media. I am doing my best to maintain a Twitter presence, so come follow me. Say hi. Oh, one more thing. I am going to be running the poll for the texture pack through the end of the week. At the end of Friday, I will tally the results. I will take whatever is the top result, and that will be the texture pack for the remainder of the series. At this very moment, if I go take a look at where we're at, Sortex has 128 votes and Faithful has 112 votes. Vanilla and Jaded Mixpack are nowhere close. So it's currently a race between Sortex and Faithful. If you would prefer one or the other, remember to go to the poll, which will be linked in the description and also in an annotation on the left, and vote. See you next time.